Hi, this is Battery Addiction. I'm not in the palette studio today. I've got something to show you about an easy way to store water and recycle at the same time. So what I have here in my sink, I have bottled water. This water will be filtered through my filter, which is over here. Which I have already done. There's water in it, so I'm going to use this water to store. And my wife likes to have these soy milks from Costco. I won't touch this stuff because it helps produce estrogen. I really don't want estrogen. And plus, it's not very good for you. Trying to break her of it. But anyway, this container, the enemy of water storage is bacteria. No matter what you do when you are storing water, there's bacteria in the water. So if light hits the water, it creates algae and the bacteria come to life and they multiply. So, and the enemy to the soy milk is the same thing. So they put it in this container that no light can enter. So I came up with this idea. Take this and put water in it. And it stores, I have a closet that I got a whole bunch of these in there. I got maybe 3 gallons of it in there. This is 1 quart, so I got about 16 of them. How many gallons is that? I hate the English system. I wish it was all metric. But it's 946 milliliters, which means I have to do math again then. Oh well. I take the milk carton and I wash it out really good. So this is the first part of the process. So open it if you didn't have it open already. I just take hot water and let it fill up. I let that fill up with water and then I shake it as I'm pouring it out. Do that until the water is coming out clear. I got a jar here. It's clear, so I can see if that water is clear. I've already rinsed it a couple of times. Then I thought I should do a video. Okay, now that it's full, turn it over. It still has milk. Still cloudy. When the water comes out clear, you know it's ready. I'm using hot water right now. When it finally comes out clear, then I can fill it with water, filtered water. This water this morning, when I poured some into the filter, I could smell the pool smell. Now pour a little bit into the jar. A lot clearer than the first time. Okay, it's probably cloudy because of the air bubbles. Let it settle. But I'm still going to rinse it one more time with cold water. I rinsed it the last time with cold water. And I also have a 5-gallon carboy cooler. I keep it full. I keep these. I got this filter, and I have one in my storage. Well, actually, my pantry. That's about that big. About 14, 15 inches, and about 6 inches wide. It's the same kind of filter. It's called zero water. The thing with zero water, the filter takes out everything, dissolved solids, bacteria, takes it all out. So you have pure water. The main problem with pure water is you don't have any minerals. Minerals come up as dissolved solids. So in the process of taking out the chlorine, it also takes out the minerals. So if you want minerals in your water, you're going to have to add it. Okay, this is clean now. Now I take a small funnel, right back. Put that on the top. And since this is over full, the reservoir at the top's got, yep, it's got water in it. So prop it up. Try to get it all. Put it in there. That works. I'm taking it, pouring straight from the filter. It still has water in it. Now I'm going to lose a little bit of this water, so good thing it's cheap. When I pour it into the jug, I'm going to lose some because I cannot see the level. This has, I think, a 9-stage filter, but part of it is stone. And stone is very good for cleaning water. It's ground up so the water can flow. Normally you have the water just filtering through the stones. Some cracks and some smaller stones mixed in. It's got a little silica in it. Okay, that's good enough. Move that out of the way because it slows, it makes it harder to put water in. And I slowly pour that in. I pour it slow because when it overflows, I'm not losing too much. And you can see the jug swelling up. In a pinch, you could probably rig up something. Use this as a water bag. Just you open up the flaps, it turns into a bag. There, it's full. All right. I lost maybe 2 ounces. But the problem with this for storing is you want to squeeze it a little bit and then cap it. Because it gets fat and you want to squeeze out some of that water. Now I've got this to fill up the water bottle again, the pitcher, but looks like I don't need it. Here in Portland, we have a lot of chlorine in our water, so I use this to get that out. And like I said, it takes out the minerals as well. And what ends up in here is pure water. There's nothing added to it, and it comes with a tester. So you have a good down situation. This will help your water stay clean as long as you have some of the filters. So you want to keep quite a few on stock. Now I put it in there like that. It says 1. So some of the dissolved solids are getting through, but they say it's only, you have to replace the filter when The gauge says 6. Now, I can test this water. There. Right here. I've got some in a jar. This water came right out of that tap. Turn this on. The number on it, I can't pause. Crap. The number says 27. That's a good day, actually. It's usually 36 or higher. So apparently they've reduced the amount of chemicals, the amount of chlorine in the water. If they don't put the chlorine in the water, we have algae. So that you could call that spirulina. And spirulina or algae, whatever you want to call it, is it's alive. It comes from the light hitting the water, causing it to turn green. Well, chlorine prevents that. But using this, as you can see, no light can shine through this. So it makes a good way to store water. We had a bottle of one of those carboys, 5-gallon carboys, filled with water that we filtered through this. And even though we filtered it through that, light was hitting it and bacteria started to grow. So it doesn't take everything out. It takes out anything alive, and it takes out the dissolved metals. Well, apparently eggs can get through, or whatever the bacteria produces. And then light hits it and it comes to life. So you want to keep your stored water in the dark. I don't know if you use a Bunsen burner and make the water turn to steam and go through a hose into another jar, that most likely won't have any bacteria. But it won't have any. We as humans need bacteria. So taking out all the bacteria, you're taking out the bad ones, you're taking out the good ones. Eliminating them when you do water that way. So it's not good for you. You need the bacteria in there. Let them fight amongst themselves. But you need that bacteria in your body. Otherwise, you're going to get sick. But the wrong bacteria in there, yeah, you still could get sick. But you're better off with bacteria in the water, just not swimming around. If that makes any sense. One of these days, I'm going to do a video on harvesting water out from the air. That's going to be a very important video because we need water. And water is getting more scarce all around the planet. Many are blaming that on global warming. But that's God weeding out the bad people. He's going to kill off the bad people. So, hold on. My battery's dying. Battery addiction, my battery's dead. Okay. Well, I'm going to plug in some power. So. And I'm not plugging into the AC. I have a battery. I was on a live stream, and well, actually, it was a video call, so my battery went down, and I forgot. My bad, but it's charging now. And I made some tea. I recommend maybe 1 or 2 cups of coffee in the morning, no more. Drink tea the rest of the day, and you can customize and make your own. This tea here is rosemary, dried rosemary, and dried hibiscus and fennel seeds. Smells like cranberries. And I found a sweetener. I can't have sugar because I'm type 2 diabetic, but I can't. Whoa, man, that really swelled up. The hibiscus really took in some water. But I can have artificial sweeteners without spiking my sugar. But the certain ones, stevia doesn't spike. Aspartame does a little bit, and I believe Splenda does a little bit too. But I found one called allulose that actually drops the sugar, and also helps you get rid of carbs. So you can eat carbs after using the allulose. And I know this container says stevia, but it's not. It's allulose. And the bad thing about the allulose is it's 70% the sweetness of sugar. I would say more like 60 because it's not sweet at all. I ate some and it did not taste sweet. So it does sweeten tea somehow, but it won't sweeten my coffee. Now sometimes I change the tea a little bit. I have saffron. This is a very good brand. It's the top brand from Iran. Comes from the crocus flower. It has to be a certain crocus flower, and it does grow here. So I'm going to see if I can plant some. It won't give me much saffron. It takes an acre to, let's see, this is 2 grams. It takes 2 acres of saffron to make this little tin. So it's a bit expensive. It's like $185 an ounce. It's like plant gold. Oh, that's good. I really taste the hibiscus. It's really strong. And I put hibiscus, fennel. Fennel tastes like licorice, and it makes it a little sweet. And I put rosemary. Rosemary is very good for opening up your blood vessels. I have high blood pressure, and since I've been taking the rosemary, my blood pressure, went down 10 points. The high number went down 10. The low number went down 5. So I don't know which is which, but the upper one is your blood pumping your heart pumping the blood out, and the low one is it at rest. Well, the blood comes back. The blood is lighter coming back, so you don't take as much pressure. You want both of them down at a certain point. I think it was 120, actually no, 132 over 90. So far, I need to bring that lower number down quite a bit. But the pumping pressure is good. I mean, if you have it under 140, you're good. You have it over 140, then you need to worry. Well, last time I was at the doctor, they got one over 145, and the lower number was like 98. So it's kind of high. And the second time, that lower number dropped down to 95. Well, I got down to 90. I have a watch that tests my blood pressure. It also does blood sugar, but it's a little delayed. It'll test your blood sugar at the skin level, where when you poke your finger, it's at the blood vessels, the smaller ones, probably the return line. It's not a big one, not a capillary or something like that. But those are the ones at the surface that will seal your skin when you get a cut. And that's the ones that don't have so much oxygen. I do believe. If some of my nurse friends get out and look at my video, please tell me in the comments. You guys know more than I do about it. I'm kind of guessing a little bit. But the water, this system works really well. I have had no bacteria growth in these at all. No light gets to them, and I keep them in a dark closet, so that helps too. But I can store these in a lighted area, and it'd be no problem, because the light can't get to the water. This is cardboard with wax on it. It's made for liquids, so it really does keep the light up. Now, this is what I did the video for. So leave comments, give me ideas, something else I could do. But I use this, the soy milk bottles, and I use the coconut milk. This has MCTs in it, which help with your cardiovascular, the reduce fat. Oh, this stuff is wonderful. And MCT is an oil. This has 50% MCT oil. Of all the beverages you could drink, this is the most healthy. You go to Africa, certain places in Africa where they have lots of coconuts. Everybody there is drinking coconut milk. Everybody there is eating coconut. And they're all thin. Hardly anybody fat. And I bet you the ones that are fat are going into the cities and eating fast food. The problem with fast food is not so much the food, the fact that you cook it in oil. It has more to do with the oil that they use than it does the food. They're using vegetable oil because the government said vegetable oil is much better for you. It's not animal fats, which they think cause your body to put on weight. The opposite is happening. Vegetable fats put on weight. Animal fats are processed through your body. So stay away from fast food as much as you can, because it's all fried in vegetable fats. The only non-animal fat oil that I use extra virgin olive oil. This is the only one that's healthy. Okay, it's the healthiest for cooking. MCT you wouldn't cook with, but I cook with coconut oil. That's got MCT in it. So coconut oil and olive oil. Now, another good oil to use certain situations, you want to research it. Grapeseed oil. It's pretty good for you too, but it's not quite at the level as MCT and olive oil. And that olive oil that I showed, that is from Morocco. It's got the highest level of polyphenols. And polyphenols attack free radicals. Free radicals cause inflammation. Inflammation causes heart problems, blood pressure problems, uh, clots, pain in your joints, causes diabetes. I learned all this after the fact. So if I'd have known this before, I never would have it. Our new clock. Wish upon a star. It's not a Disney clock. 11 o'clock already? Yeah. That clock's right. That clock's right. It matches the time on my phone. So, I'm way behind on the stuff I need to do. Okay, it's done. All right, I have short-term water storage in my utility room. I'm going to take a look at that. I should take the phone off the tripod. Well, that wasn't too hard. All righty. So let's go to the utility room. And I'll turn the phone around. Okay. Oops. Settings. Camera. Okay. This is what I put the some of the water in. This is also a zero water. It uses the same exact filter, but it's a much bigger container. As you can see, much bigger. And this is the old pitcher that I put out here. I take water from this and put it here. And this one comes with its own meter. This one's got a hold function on it, where the other one don't. And you store it right here. And I also make my own soda, so that's what that's for. I got root beer and cream soda. But I have a water bottle there. So I fill up these water bottles. And I'll later do a video on the storage of food. As you can store food in jars that have had liquid in them, like salsa. Now, I don't like these jars much for storing stuff that I'm going to eat or drink, because they don't have much of a thread area. You can get them closed all the way. Now you wouldn't put liquid in it. Put like maybe macaroni. You put a oxygen absorber in the bottom. This has got to be dry, clean, sanitized, and dry. So when you put dry goods in here, they're not going to be wet. So what you do is you put an oxygen absorber in there, put the noodles in, for example, put noodles in there, close the lid as tight as you can. Later on, it'll go, I don't know if you hear that. It'll make that sound because it will seal. Because that oxygen absorber is taking all the oxygen out of the jar. So when you open it, I've seen people do it. It actually works. But even though you're putting dry goods in there, it needs to have had a liquid in it. I have an applesauce jar. That's a liquid. It's kind of a thick liquid is sauce. But you can take, this was a mayonnaise jar. That's a liquid. You can seal it back up. This is like a mason jar. You can put mason lids on this and use it. You can can stuff in that jar, but not this one. The lid surface is too small. That's way too small. It needs to be here. Comparison. It needs to be like that, not this. See the difference? So even though this had liquid, you can't use it for liquid. This is not recommended. My wife has put jam in there, but the sugar content in the jam protects it. Here's the, see that these jars use a much bigger lid, more thread surface, so you can put liquid in this. I wouldn't use this. I'd use a mason lid. That way you can take the ring off and use it on something else once it seals. Well, now here's one good example. This is a mason jar. It's got the ring. Now this is not sealed. This, my wife's using it for the Chilean version of caramel. Believe me, it tastes better. So, here's a good jar for storing stuff in. This jar here, this was peaches. Now peaches are stored in a liquid, so this is a good jar to reuse. It has measures right here. So this is a storage jar. You want to make sure it's a storage jar because there's a lot of jars you buy at the store that are not storage jars, but they have stuff in them. Some of it liquid. I don't know how they get away with that, but like I said, if you're going to store dry goods like noodles, you can put it in here with an oxygen absorber on the bottom. This will pop down. Oh, Benny Johnson's got a video about America poisoning our food. This is another reason you want to be able to make or can your own. That's one of my goals this year is to learn canning. I grow a garden and I'm going to change up the garden this year. I'm going to do one regular tomato plant and one cherry tomato. And then the rest is going to be foods that are actually good for you. Tomatoes are decent. They got lycopene, which is it's a anti free radical. But it also has lectins in it in the skin. So if you can say cook them and then take the skin off and then take the seeds out, you have no lectins in the meat of the tomato. So you can make sauce out of it, but you want to take the seeds out and the skin off. But if you're eating foods that repair the damage that the lectins do, you don't need to worry about it. I prefer that route. Then I can enjoy the tomatoes like I should. Well, anyway, I gotta leave some material for other videos. So this is the video on how to store water and recycle at the same time. So if anybody comes up with ideas that I could use, I could show in a later video, please leave in the comments. Thank you and enjoy your day. Battery out.